AIL Cup final here at St Mary's College in Dublin. It's a fantastic day here. And just to get you in the mood, we've got a few highlights from when these two teams met earlier in the season.
Hughes with the feed. Hughes from the base, they go out the back here. And it's a good carry from Kai as Railway get over the gain line. Wall hits Noonan. It's through the hands and it's lovely from O'Halloran. Good footwork. Eva Flynn with a great clear out. UL Bows with the line out. Capeless with the take, and UL Bows look to set them all. Railway doing their best to disrupt, but it looks like UL Bows are in control of this. As they march towards the line here, Railway staying disciplined. Referee Lacey says first use. UL Bows with a chance here, 5 metres from the touchline. They need to recycle to get off. Railway doing incredibly well to hold them out for the time being. Wall demanding the ball from her players. And it's a turnover. Railway have the ball now. Resolute defence from Railway Union here, 10 metres from their line. But the ball will remain in play. Aoife Curry with the ball off the touchline. She's got players with her. And it's a superb turnover from Niamh Byrne, Railway. Deirdre Roberts with the ball at her feet. She has Lindsay Peat and Katie O'Dwyer in support here. Whether this is a pre-planned move, we will see. And it is Peat with a carry. 3 metres short of the line here, Railway. McDermott with the carry. Lovely little offload to the other McDermott. And it's around the corner, Railway again. UL Bows doing well defensively. The ball is shipped through the hands. It's McGann, and she throws the ball, and it's going to be a try. Ava Ryder, is it? Ava Ryder. Railway Union on the line. UL Bows, phenomenal defence here. Carries. And it's a try for Railway. Molly Boyne with the try for Railway Union there, and you can't say they don't deserve it. Superb attack from Railway, and they lead 5-0. A 5-woman liner for UL Bows. They like to go to the front, and it's safely won. Wall with the feed, hits Rachel Allen at 10, who hits Capeless. She's met by her opposite number, Kelly Boyne. Capeless winning the battle on this occasion. Allen again. Big Railway line speed. Laura Manny tasked with getting go forward ball, and she does. McDermott with a good tackle. And not rolling away there. Allen opts to go quickly. It's a great pass out to Noonan in hands. She's got Curry in support. UL Bows inside the 22 here now with an opportunity. Laura O'Mahony barking orders. Great carry by UL Bows, second row. Rebecca Riley there. Wall again with the feed. Laura O'Mahony filling in first receiver. Reedy with a carry. Met with resolute defence again by McDermott and Railway. Wall is going to have to come back blind here. Chloe Pearce again. She's been totemic all afternoon, and a wonderful carry again from Gina Behan on her right hand side. Allen takes the ball from half-back partner Wall. Claude O'Halloran hits the front door option. Railway again looking to slow that ball and just doing a job to set their defensive line up again. Another lovely dummy there by Pearce. UL Bows again if they can get quick ball, but they elect to slow it down to rebuild. Sheehan waiting for, and it's a great carry again by UL Bows. The body height. Boyne, master of the dark arts at the ruck for Railway, seems to have gotten away with that. And it's a great carry again by Reedy. UL Bows 10 metres short of the Railway line now. Railway defending resolutely. They reset again. Being very disciplined there not to pre-latch. Sheehan adds her power there to get an extra couple of yards for UL Bows, and Wall says to the forwards, go again. Pearce again, who's been there. She's met again by her opposite number there. A wonderful tackle by Deirdre Roberts. And it's a huge moment as Railway survive and get the penalty turnover. And Railway pumped the ball straight down the middle of the field, and it's bounced. It could be anyone's ball again. It bounces. And it's taken bravely there by Aoife Corey. Sun on her face, and she goes. Curry with a chance here. She's in the 22. She's got Wall inside. She stopped 15 metres short of the line here. Railway get the turnover penalty there. And Aoife Corey at 15 for UL Bows. The game being played at a frantic pace. Cool minds will be needed here. Wall to Reedy. They're in the middle of the 22, so it's going to be difficult to exit here for UL Bows. Orders being barked here. Rachel Allen. And Allen will take the half. Half-time score here at UL 4G. Railway Union 5, UL Bohemians 5. It would appear little or no room to manoeuvre on that blind side as Railway look to set up an attack here. Anna McGann standing in at first receiver. The ball is picked. Roberts. They go at the back of McGann into Kai's hands. And it's Byrne with the carry. She looks to get the hands free. She throws the pass, the offload. Railway looking to keep the ball alive. The ball in the hands of Molly Scuffle McCabe here. She looks to get on the outside. She does get on the outside. It's a 2-on-1. She has it there. She gets off the touchline. A great carry by McCabe. Railway inside the 22. Railway go quickly through number 8, Deirdre Roberts. 5 metres short of the UL Bows line here now. Ailsa Hughes with the ball. Roberts screaming again. Everything good that's come through has come through her today for Railway. Hughes marshalling her troops. UL Bows managed to slow down the ball. McDermott ready for a carry. Cleared out by Molly Boyne. The ball slowing down ever so slightly on the recycle. Pete gets the ball. Met again by Capeless. Two ferocious competitors there. Railway 3 metres short of the line here now. Hughes with the ball. She moves it. Goes through the hands. Surely here Anna McGann has the ball. Superb defence there. There was a 3-on-2 given. It was an opportunity there, but Railway recycled the ball. The ball is picked at the base again, and the referee has blown the whistle. Knock on to Railway. UL Bows survived there. Wonderful defence on that. Lisa Callan with the throw, and it's a great steal. But Railway have regained again, and Molly Boyne is on the ball, and Molly Boyne. Railway just over 10 metres short of the UL Bows line here again. McDermott with the carry. Pete with the clear out again. Railway looking ever more threatening here as McDermott sets up his first receiver. She has the ball in hand again. McDermott's been outstanding all afternoon. Boyne with the carry. Great carry by Railway Union as they get yards here. Chloe Pearce with some mind games for her opposite number at the line out. Sheehan hits Pearce. UL Bows have them all. Railway. Emerson Allen has been brilliant since her introduction. And it's a great carry and it's a break for UL Bows through the middle. Stop just inside the half. It's a good clear out for UL Bows. Sheehan is going to have to play 9. And she does. Cape is screaming for it on the right hand side as UL Bows go. Railway do very, very well, but they're narrow in defence if they can move it to the right. Allen barking orders at Wall. Ball in Allen's hands, out the back of Noonan. Eva Curry's on the ball. Roberts over the ball. Roberts legal there, but referee Lacey will go back for an earlier infringement. Wonderful break by Brianna Haleman there. Wall with the feed. They look to go on the strike. UL Bows with a much more solid scrum. Referee Lacey says use it. Pearce with a lovely recycle to Wall to Allen. That's a little dink. Probably not her best kick, and the ball is now in the hands of Railway Union's Amy Clark, who does very well. Gets outside Capus. McGann again. The ball is in Byrne's hands. And it's in the hands of Scuffle McCabe here. Railway on the far touchline with an opportunity to recycle. They do. Emerson with a great carry. Ailsa Hughes with the carry. Pete gets the ball. Takes 2 UL Bows women to get her down. Capus over the ball, but well cleared out. The ball through McDermott again. Lovely side of hands. And McCabe throws the ball in hand of Amy Clark. She's on the ball. Wonderful cover tackle there by Steffi Noonan and UL Bows. But a wonderful clear out. Deirdre Roberts with the carry. McDermott again with the ball in hand. Capeless with the tackle. Roberts. Hughes back in at 9. McCabe on the ball. Well read by Noonan. Tremendous commitment for both sides here. It's a great carry there. Again by Railway. Close in carry. Roberts barking the orders into her forwards. Hughes. Molly Boyne has it. Great little call there. Lovely carry from Katie O'Dwyer. Hughes to Roberts. Into the hands of McGann. Pete is skipped. It's into the hands outside of replacement hooker Lisa Callan. Lovely little offload there. Noonan covers wonderful ground for Bows. 7 phases here for Railway going through the phases. Great continuity. Resolute defence from UL Bows. McDermott, great carry. Capus again with the tackle. Railway 10 metres outside. Hughes again. Hits Roberts. Great pass to Niamh Byrne. There's numbers outside her if she can go. It's a wonderful tackle on the inside. Reedy blocking the pass. O'Dwyer with the carry. And O'Dwyer, she has Railway inside the 22. They can smell an opportunity here. Hughes with the carry. Niamh Byrne again. Great fight from there. Reedy with the tackle. UL Bows with an opportunity. Sheehan trying to slow it down on that side. The ball in the hands again. Railway looking to go to back. Scuffle McCabe. And it's Pearce on Pete. And she's in the ball. Pearce has an opportunity here. As she goes, she kicks it forward. Noonan, it's going to be a foot race here. McGann does extremely well to get the ball from Railway. She's got the ball under her posts. She evades the first tackle. Capeless is evaded on the inside. Wonderful tackle again from Pearce. And UL Bows have the ball here. The game is being played at a frantic pace. Cool minds are needed. And after all that, it's a scrum to UL Bows. Sheehan with the dart, and it's stolen by Railway, and Railway recycle it, and there's an opportunity here. Ball in hand of the replacement. Lisa Cannon is going. She's not going to be stopped, and it's offloaded to Peter, and it's a try for Railway. Railway Union devastating on the turnover, and they lead 10 points to 5. Lindsay Peat with an opportunistic try after a turnover from UL Bows lineout. Drop kick conversion is over. McDermott, no messing about. Hughes with the pass. Pete has managed to knock it on, and there's an opportunity here. Pete with all the experience stops after the ball is played. UL Bows with a chance. Pete makes up for it with a huge tackle. Ball is with Allen. Noonan with the pass. The ball is in hand of UL Bows. Again, off the touchline, Alana McInerney with the pass. 5 metres short. She's still on her feet. She's short of the line. Held up. Wonderful defence from Railway Union there. It will result in a goal line dropout here. Railway will restart with a goal line dropout. The ball looks like it will land in Alana McInerney's hands. And it will. McInerney with the carry. She's been electric with the ball in hand. Beats McDermott. And she's tackled by Rodera, the replacement of Railway. Allen again with the ball in hand. Straight line running, which is what is needed. Allen again with a recycle of the ball. The ball is in the hand. It's on. Oh, and it's knocked on into touch. Hughes feeds the Railway scrum. Totemic shift, and it's Molly Boyne at 8, who's made a tremendous carry. She's tackled by Rachel Allen. Railway making considerable yards here and have numbers if they decide to go. The ball is in the hands of Anna McGann. McGann gets outside and she's going. It's a 2-on-1 here. She's got her winger outside. McGann again with a wonderful carry. She's around Corrie. McGann still going. Can she go all the way? McGann with a wonderful run here. That is as good as a try as you will see. And McGann, 17 points to 5 to Railway here at the 4G. Game restarted by Rachel Allen. Claimed by Railway back row. Kelly Boyne, the try scorer, has been immense all afternoon. Railway setting up, and it's used for a box kick, and she does box. And it's a wonderful kick. And will that go for a 50-22? It just will. A wonderful kick there by Elsa Hughes. Wonderful throw by Callan, and they set up for the maul. And McDermott decides to go herself. Railway 12 metres short, hunting a bonus point opportunity here. Hughes feeds, and it's Callan. Allen with a good hit. She's led from the front for UL Bows. Ball still at the base. Hughes hits Pete. Pete hits replacement Rodera, who is tackled to the ground. They decide to go back blind here with the drop kick. And it's well executed. Full time here at the UL 4G pitch. Reigning champions Railway come away with the bonus point win, 24 points to UL Bohemians 5.
hopefully they'll hit their second wind.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to St Mary's College in Dublin for this Energia Women's AIL Cup Final. It's a fantastic afternoon. My name's Graham Jewhurst, and I'll be taking you through the commentary. And beside me is Gemma McCamley. Gemma?
Hi, Graham.
How are you? And you looking forward to this one?
I think it'll be a brilliant match. Two very physical teams. I think we're in for a really tough game today. And
the top two teams in the league, and they've sort of, apart from Bows getting put away by Union, they've pretty much swept all before them.
yeah, absolutely. It's that monster physicality. There's no province just like it, and you know, I think that's what they're going to be bringing here today.
And it's a perfect afternoon for rugby. Who do you think that's going to suit either of the sides more than the other? It's a day where there's very little wind out there. It's lovely, calm, dry. Who wants to throw the ball about? Who'd rather stuff it up the jumper and kick to the corners? And
I can see that Aoife McDermott is in the railway pack today, and she obviously has that Leinster experience in the row, and you know, well suited to her height in those lineouts. So it could go either way, but I think we'll see.
As you can see, just 5 minutes to kick off, and both sides are still just about finishing up out in their pitch. The warm-ups have been intense. I think that's probably the best way to put it. Which of the players from Railway are you looking forward to seeing the most today, or who's going to set the pitch on fire?
Well, it's lovely to see Lindsay Peat obviously be available now after she's retired from international duties. She obviously brings that experience in the pack, that you know, those dynamic running lines, the big tackles. She really gives them a lot of organisation. You've Ulster's Keelan Brady, who's moved out of the row and into 7 today, so it'll be interesting to see if she can pick up that those wide channel tackles with the position change. You have plenty of experience from Nicole Cockey in 10. It'll be interesting to see how she organises the back line, since we have a few younger players.
And there's the team sheets up there for you to see. Just some of those players Gemma was mentioning there. There's a lot of talent and a lot of experience out there. And you mentioned that there's a lot of cross-positional ability. I think that's the best way to say. I mean, Lizzie could play 8 or prop. You know, there's other players who are very similar. That adaptability in this long game could prove their worth, couldn't it?
Yep. Well, there's even Deirdre Robertson, centre, who may or may not be stepping into hooker if she's given the chance today.
It's not often you say that.
No, absolutely not.
Although you've known to dabble as well in pretty much every position in the pack.
Yes,
absolutely.
Is that fair to say? Yeah.
Have you hooked?
I've not hooked. It's the only position in the pack that I've not gathered any experience yet. But who's to say we can't go there in the future, you know? And
then let's move on to UL Bohemian, another very, very strong outfit. Who should we be looking for in that team?
Well, we obviously have captain Chloe Pearce. You know, she's a good few international caps under her belt, very experienced player, another front row, back row combination.
Yep, absolutely.
Moving on to the front row with Fiona Reedy, who is, you know, the monster stalwart, a huge leader for the pack, bringing, I think I heard, nearly 15 years of All-Ireland League experience.
That's incredible.
Along with her interprovincial and international caps. There's Ellis Cahill, a young tight head who recently got her interprovincial debut this year. Really phenomenal physical player. It'll be interesting to see how she fares in, I think, her first final for the team.
It's a fantastic opportunity, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's brilliant.
I mean, obviously there's Irish internationals away, and there's Six Nations focus and that sort of thing, but there will be the focus on this match. You know, this is the highest level of women's rugby. But below that inter-pros level, and there'll be eyes on this game.
Absolutely, and it does go to show the depth that these teams have, and it gives the platform for those younger players of the future to step up and get that bit of experience and, you know, make some good solid memories early on in their career.
And you have said, like, I mean, there's that mix of youth and experience,
yes.
and when you do have international players away, in many respects that actually is a really positive thing for the young talent coming through.
Yes,
because you've got players who have 15 years experience, you've got players who are internationals both on the team and on the bench. You know, Emer Constantine there, 22 Irish international experience coming off the bench. They're able to guide the younger players, and this is their opportunity, put a bit of their wisdom out there.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting how that wisdom then kicks off We have Katie Flannery, the UL Bows 10. It's her first season of senior rugby, so it'll be interesting to see how she fares in out half, which is a position that requires that experience.
Yeah.
But with that guidance from the senior players, it'll be interesting to see how she fares.
And I mean, obviously these sides have met. We watched, if you joined us earlier, we watched a fair highlights package really from the teams as they met earlier in the season, where Railway Union came away victorious in that match. And in fact, they have been on top of UL Bows, for maybe a fair while now. I mean, you've got to go back a few seasons before you get a UL Bows win. What do UL Bows need to do to sort of topple that and you put Railway Union under pressure early on? And that's.
I think the first 20 minutes will dictate. I think if UL Bohemians come out of the gates really physical in their defence, really putting Railway under pressure, we'll see if they can generate mistakes. I think it'll be monopolising on those mistakes that will give UL Bows the platform to turn the tide here.
And it'll be interesting. Thanks very much, Gemma. It'll be interesting to see how both these sides react. They've both got very different approaches to the game, very different styles of playing. Even we can see you just off picture there the fact that Railway Union have headed back into the dressing room. UL Bows are very much we're on the pitch. This is us. We're here. We're ready to go. They're in a circle. They're doing their team talk on the pitch. It's interesting just to see those different mentalities come to the fore.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here we go. We're just a minute or so away from kickoff. UL Bows are just gathering there about to. They're playing, as you see it, on the left-hand side of the screen. Railway Union won the coin toss, so they have elected to take the kickoff. So we're going to see what happens then. We're maybe a couple of minutes more away from kickoff. There's a good wee bit of support. Everyone's heading back into the changing room now. Maybe the match is over and we've missed it, but stick with us and I'm sure they'll be out at some point. The referee today is Robbie McGreer, a very experienced referee from Ulster, and he's got a couple of assistants, Owen Crossan and Keith Condell, with him as well. So he'll know a few of the players, Robbie McGreer, from the Ulster side. There's a few Ulster players scattered around there. Can't hide my own accent, I'm afraid, and neither can Gemma. So, so fair amount of inter-provincial experience. Let's talk about the inter-pros. Let's look at the second rows for Railway Union as a prime example of how the inter-pros setup
absolutely
affects the sides.
Yeah, you have both McDermotts in the second row, both powerful Leinster locks who, have the legs when you give them the space, but it's watching them in those lineouts really attacking the space and using that experience. I'll be really excited to see who can attack in the air the best today.
And a lot of it's going to be about combinations of players as well. It's how players link up, and it's all about when you've got a bit of a mix in the side. These will be very different sides to the teams that met earlier in the competition. It's going to see how those combinations fare when you've got your internationals away, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's adapting to the circumstances. Which teams have the depth, the full picture, regardless of who's available each day, and who are able to perform consistently throughout the season. Obviously, we've seen that Railway have been on top throughout, but that's not to say that UL Bows can't wow us today and really pitch a bid for this cup.
Well, look, that's why we love rugby, isn't it? Like, I mean, look, on any day, anything can happen, and statistics and history and all sorts of things. Well, you can park that right now because we're at St Mary's College Dublin for the Energia Women's All-Ireland Cup final between Railway Union playing in green and UL Bohemian playing in red, and all other things are unimportant because what happens today will well, it's its own game, isn't it? Robbie McGreer, the referee, gets the game underway. And it's an early start, and UL Bows will get the opportunity to get into Railway early on.
There was a bit of a stumble there from Aoife McDermott, unfortunately. Maybe the pressure's, the pressure's there before we even got into the...
Absolutely, and it's just, look, it's the sort of start UL Bows would have wanted. They're forcing a few errors, a kick straight out, forced back, and they have a line out in prime territory.
Let's see who'll come out on top for this first line out.
So Lily Brady, the hooker for UL Bows. And a good clean catch there by O'Halloran. I'm wanting to get into Railway Union early. They've set up the rolling maul and they're progressing forward and they've got good control, and Robbie McGreer's already signalled an advantage, and that's some start.
Yeah, that's the Munster physicality we'll be looking for. You know, big, heavy carriers, strong scrums, strong mauls, and I really think they'll need to be targeting that to take it to Railway today.
And you'd hardly believe it after the afternoon we've had. There's a spit of rain, would you believe? A spit of rain. There's still blue skies, so we're still hopeful that that'll abate quickly. But here we go. A line out 7 metres out from the Railway Union line.
I wonder will we see another maul.
Well, after how proficient the first one was, you wouldn't back against it. So here we go. Referee there just making sure the gap's there. Up at the front, it's a Railway steel this time. A line out a piece.
I think Bows will be frustrated with that. It just seemed like the ball didn't quite go maybe to hand there, and Railway are obviously very quick to use their experience and capitalise on that mistake.
And it's a decent clearance as well. Nikki Cockey. Both number 10s you'll see are very proficient with the boot. We saw Kate Flannery put a good kick into touch there from the penalty.
I think Kate will certainly not be letting her youth get the better of her. Comes from a good rugby stock. Her brother Jake plays for Ulster, and her other brother, I believe, is a County Shannon player.
And that's a lovely line out from UL Bows, especially after that missed ball at the front, to then have the wherewithal to stick that right over the back's fantastic. And look at this rolling maul just across the pitch and forward. It's almost the perfect rolling maul. You're given your backline space on both sides if you want it, but they're going to go right through and across. Oh, and that's phenomenal play from UL Bohemian. Lily Brady, the hooker who put the ball into the line out. That is a staggeringly good drive.
Well, that was brilliant. Railway just could not gather themselves defensively to stop that maul. You can see here in the playback, kind of struggling, and that the Bohemian strength just didn't let up.
And it was really well worked. They managed to get the ball back to Lily Brady very quickly. So they set the platform very well. It was very well drilled maul. It wasn't just a question of power. There's a skill level there, and then the knowledge and ability to. It's always difficult for a hooker, I think, to know when to break off the maul, but she just timed it perfectly there.
Obviously, that young, dynamic kind of hooker build that you're seeing coming through. I think long gone are the kind of stocky, slow front rows of the past. It's now you have hookers who are, well, as dynamic as your back row, if not your centres. Yeah,
it really is. It's a game of 15. Well, really 23 players now, isn't it? Who have to be able to play across the board. Okay, and there we go. 7-0. That's just the start. The team in red wanted to see. Railway Union, though, full of experience, full of they're a very, very fit physical side, so you kind of expect them. They will definitely have their purple patch, and it's just how each side could deal with that. So here we go, 7 points to 0.
I think Railway will be looking to follow up with their own score to give themselves platform for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and a lot of it's been about territory so far. It's the first time we're in the UL Bows half. Great carry.
That was Chloe Pearce.
Lovely ball out. Good set of hands there. That was Cahill. All the way across the back. It's been a bit of a block. And it's Lindsay Pete too, and the ball just takes it on. Well, experience counts for a lot, just that understanding to stick the boot out and
absolutely
right place, right time.
That's the danger of having Lindsay Pete in the back row, is she obviously has that cross-sport experience. I believe she plays football, basketball. Like, that is a woman who is not scared to use her skills from any sport she's dabbled her hand in.
So here we go as the rain starts to come down here at St Mary's. UL Bows have the put into the line out, and it's well taken in the middle. Lovely by O'Halloran. And a lovely driving maul to give, and it's being knocked on. So Railway Union have a bit of an opportunity. They have space out right if they can use it. Bohemian's defence gets up very fast, but Nicky Cocky takes it in. Ball still going wide. There's Cocky there. Rosa Grubber, it's going to be a bit of a race. Who's going to get there first? Fernanda tried to get there first. Have they got it? She has got it. Stephanie Carroll knocked backwards by the Bohemian defence. Still in possession there. 1 metre short of the line. The ball bubbles and bounces. Aoife McDermott, is she going to go across? She is, and just as you were saying, Gemma, what did Union need to do? They needed to put points on the board immediately, and they've done just that.
I think that was, just a demonstration of the relentless Railway attack. Once they get in the 22, the energy that they bring it's just relentless. And I think what we saw there was UL Bohemians maybe just struggled to match that intensity as the carriers kept flying around the corner.
And it's all just taking opportunities, isn't it? I mean, that was just really, if you go right back to when this started, Lindsay Peake just putting a leg out there, just blocking what would have been a kick. Could have had UL Bows up on nearly a halfway line, and instead they were trapped in their 22 and play went from there. Yeah,
you could see when Railway started getting that momentum, they were maybe struggling to get ball to hand. It got a little bit scrappy, but they settled right in, and the points go to show that once they focus, they can become really clinical.
I almost wonder as well that the UL Bows maul off that line out seemed to go so fast it almost went out of control. I wonder if Railway Union actually took a step back off it to almost kind of allow that, because they certainly didn't seem to commit too many men to it.
Yeah, perhaps maybe using that strength of Bohemians against them, allowing them to generate those mistakes. That could be the tactics they're coming into today with.
So there we go. There's the scorelines level here in this Energia Women's AIL Cup final. 7 apiece. Christine Coffey adding the extras underneath the posts. So what a fantastic start to this game. If you're just joining us, you've missed a frenetic 8 minutes of rugby. Both teams putting 2 very, very good scores on the board. Well taken by O'Loughlin as well from that kickoff, and she offloaded very nicely as well. Cocky. We're going to be interested to see how well they use the boot. That came off the knee, so should be okay. Good pick up there by Corey. Did very well to regather that. Allen passes it out all the way along the line. Barrett, lovely little step. Misses 1 tackle, misses 2. Finally gets thumped to the ground. Ciara Farrell adds a few yards. Bows starting to go through the faces again. Although Salter Townsend really having to work hard to get that, and I think Railway may have turned that over. They have. Chloe Blackmore to Sonia McDermott. Oh, to Aoife McDermott, and the try scores away again across the halfway line. Oh, lovely little flick ball. Stephanie Carroll. Is she going to have the legs? Brilliant tackle on the far side. Oh, and what a tackle it was, and how crucial was that? McInerney there, fantastic tackle, but beautiful play from both sides, wasn't it? Yeah,
I think Railway once again are using that experience. Every single player is able to put the ball through hands, even under the pressure, as both were really scrabbling around the corners, struggling to make those tackles.
Well, we're being treated to what this is. It's the top 2 teams in the country playing together, and they're putting on a show so far.
That was a classic Railway line-out we just saw there.
Emma Murphy, catch and gathering, and Railway now going to the maul. Both sides want to take each other on very early on. Back in their fitness levels, back in their power. It's stopped once, so they'll have to use it.
Maybe not getting just quite the same forward momentum that Bows have been demonstrating so far this game, but that's not to say it's not there.
Coffey passes it out to Cocky.
Of course, you have Fiona Reedy in the Bohemian loose head position, and Alice Cahill in tight. 2 very experienced players.
So here we go. It's a good shot scrum. Railway Union maybe have the nudge on. Can They get it back. And there's the penalty. Wow. Look at what it means to those Union players.
I think Gronyo Loughlin for Railway just really got the shove on, and it seems that the front row couldn't quite handle her.
It'll just come down in their scrums to who gets that initial nudge, and as you say, you just saw that, didn't you? Just that little nudge.
Railway were very, very pleased with that first scrum. I don't think it's an easy feat coming up against a monster side and dominating the scrum against them.
Blackmore puts the ball in, good take. Sonia McDermott gives it off to Lindsay Peat. Look at that power, almost up to the 22. O'Loughlin, who's been involved heavily at prop, good hands from her. Out it goes, and look at the UL Bows defence, knocking them out. Aguero, big handoff, solid tackle. Fiona Reedy getting involved in the loose in the tackling front as well. Coffey, Brady there, good offload to McDermott. And just the supporting players just going off their feet. And Robbie McGreer right on there to give the penalty to UL Bows. I think they'll be disappointed there. They were just building.
Yeah, and that's the struggle of having tall players too. It's controlling your body height whenever you're going low to defend those rucks.
Tap and go here from Bows. Setting it up in the centre of the pitch, still going left. Good hands there from Rachel Allen, and she was straight back in to service the ruck. Oh, lovely little show and go there, and kept looking for the offload. Chloe Pearce, deadly at 8. And look, there is space right if they straighten up. Beautiful hands, and a great take by Clara Barrett. All sorts of skills going on here. Saltertown's in. Fiona Reedy. Both props from both sides, heavily involved. Flannery, they're shouting out wide. There is space if they go, and here goes Allen. Cut back inside from try scorer Brady. All the way out through Corey to Barrett over that far side, and that's... Now, we'll just see if it's anything more than a penalty for that. I think we'll maybe just going to say tell her just to calm that down. That was not the most pleasant of hits.
That's unfortunate. As you could see, what was that if not champagne rugby from the Robins? Lovely offloads in attack, just working around that corner, and Railway really having to work hard, and unfortunately it's maybe resulted in a tackle that maybe wasn't as safe as it should have been. And
maybe they probably might like to have seen that ball shifted out to the speedsters on the wing, maybe a wee bit quicker.
Yes.
But that's easy to look back from hindsight, from high up.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think there is the space out wide on both teams, and I think you need those centres to make sure they're squaring up to get those offloads.
I mean, it was a great tackle actually there. Christine Coffey coming in on Brady, which actually slowed that whole play down. If she hadn't made that tackle, boom. Absolutely. Seen a couple of really good tackles in this game, haven't we?
Yeah, and I think that there's definitely more where that's come from. There's some phenomenal tacklers out there. For scrum halves as well. Big hits aren't necessarily the...
A scrum half on hooker there, and it was prime, right round the ankles. Dearney knows what we'll be talking about this time next season with this below the sternum tackle and all that sort of stuff that could potentially be coming in, but maybe the less said about that the better at this point. I would need to go back to biology to work out exactly where the sternum is, but I think so does every referee in the country, but no matter. So that was a good kick though from Flannery, and UL Bows back where they were when they scored that try. Should we put our money on them all?
I think we might be seeing them all.
Oh, well taken. It was touch and go there, but O'Halloran got up very quickly. And look at the UL Bows. They are drilled so well. And look at the power. Here comes Lily Brady. She can sniff her second. Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah, Bows definitely know what they're looking for here.
Yeah, don't they just?
It's textbook for them.
You've got that deadly combination of a number 10 who can kick you down right into the territory, and then a pack who are just ruthless.
Yeah, you know, you're seeing those, those front rows, the power from, even Chloe Pierce, really driving in that maul. There was nothing stopping it. I don't think Railway really could have done anything else but give them that territory.
The only maybe other thing they could do, they're still jumping in the line out at that point. You know, maybe they just need to sacrifice that. And although they did steal one of 5, so like it's that gamble of, do you go up and hope, or do you sacrifice and just try and hit them as hard as you can?
Absolutely, it's tough because they have the experience and they have the height in their second row, but you know, as you say, it's all about reacting to how the game is going for them today, and it'll be interesting to see if they continue to decide to put someone up defensively that close to the try line.
And you've got that coaching setup there. Well, we'll wait and see what happens to this kick, see if they can extend the lead. Just away to the side, so 12 points to 7. UL Bows lead Railway Union here at St Mary's College, Dublin. So that coaching setup of Niamh Briggs, Ross Callahan and Tyrone Elliott there for UL Bows. They've got that pack so well drilled, don't they, for lineouts?
Yeah. You can see now even the energy that the UL Bows have. They seem settled.
Yeah.
They're prepared, ready for this next kickoff. It'll be interesting to see if Railway are able to just up that intensity again and respond the way they did last time.
That was a lovely step from O'Halloran, but a great turnover once again. That's not the first time Railway Union have jackled well at the breakdown. UL Bows might need to start thinking about committing a few more men to that as O'Loughlin takes that forward, showing the power. Coffey, Keelan Brady there getting involved in the mix again. It goes all the way out to Nicky Cockey out on the far side. Pete. Oh, look at the power. Goodness, they just need to commit 2-3 men to her to try and bring her down. Aoife McDermott. Blackmore. Lovely offload. Roberts. It's coming all the way out here. Great run. O'Loughlin again. Gives a lovely, she's great hands. Cocky. Nice little move there to Byrne. Byrne bounces off a few more players. The captain setting it up, and this is really dangerous now. Will it go all the way out wide? Coffey goes digging, it's bobbling and bouncing. Now there's an offside. I think Robbie McGreer's caught that. So it's a free ball. I think they're going to go back for the penalty. Could it be more? That's the question, because that was a pretty critical situation. It looked like a Union were, I don't know how they were not going to score from there almost.
Once again, we're seeing the space in the wide channels there, and we just can't seem to get the players to square up in order to get the wingers in a bit of space. Both teams have the pace.
So here we go. We're round the fringes. What can Railway do to get set up? They're closing in the line. They're over. Well, now there's power, and there's power from both sides. Lindsay Peat on a number of carries so far this game has proved almost unstoppable, but that's fantastic.
You can see she's very, very happy with that one. That famous power. Very, very dynamic, powerful player. And using that experience as well. You know, she has that bit of that legacy. As you said, they're committing 3 or 4 players to tackle her every time, and you know, part of that legacy is, you know, she's known and if not feared on the pitch.
Yeah, and it's again what happened the first time Bow scored. It was like, really, you knew what they had to do. Look, we've got to get straight back into this game, put our mark on it, and they've done just exactly the same again.
Absolutely.
But a slightly more kickable conversion, it has to be said, and maybe that could be the difference if they sneak into the lead for the first time in this game.
It definitely seems to be a score for score kind of game, and it'll be interesting to see which team, you know, gets that momentum to, to build a bit more of a gap.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Momentum is the key. And at the minute, the momentum has literally swayed backward and forwards. It's who can take the momentum forward from a try and then put it back onto the other team again. So there we go. So Railway Union, for the first time in this match, halfway through this first half, have gone into the lead at 14 points to 12. How critical will that conversion be in 60 minutes' time? A lot of rugby still to be played, and I hope you're really enjoying this from St Mary's College in Dublin. It's an absolute cracker of an Energia Women's AAL Cup final. Two of the best sides in the country, and they're proving why. There you go. We're seeing all sorts of skills today.
I'm not sure she meant to do that or not.
We'll give it the benefit of the doubt.
We can see that the Bohemians are deciding on how they're going to set this line out. The balls we've seen so far maybe could have been taken a little bit cleaner. Lovely.
So here we go, UL Bows have the ball. Some good tackles. There's a try score. Pete up very, very fast to just null that attack. Bows coming around the corner very quickly. Eva McCormack. This time the little kick. They're looking to kick a lot, Bows. Fernanda, the Canadian international, breaking a couple of tackles there before going to ground. Good hands from Aoife McDermott again. And Cocky. Good take by Barrett. Off she goes. Oh, she smells the space. Well wrapped up. Lindsay Peach is everywhere at the minute, isn't she? Good hands, good power. Takes UL Bows up to the half. Reedy, good offload again. Some big hits going in the middle. Sonia McDermott right in the middle of that. Lovely hands if you can get it all the way out. Oh, that's a massive big tackle. And that was critical because you felt they just had an overlap if they could have got that one more pass. Salter Townsend to Cal. Railway Union's defence now, and there he goes, turnover again. That's a fourth or fifth time that's happened. Big run from Emma Murphy. Ball bobbles but gathered. Blackmore shows and goes. Good tackle by Flannery. Sonia McDermott, lovely offload. The handling from the second rows particularly, and the interplay there. Brilliant from the greens. Lovely hands, what an offload, just as we say that. And this time it's UL Bows who get the turnover, and that was critical, wasn't it? Union were just starting to put the faces together.
Yeah, definitely. You can start to see those players linking up. You know, a lot of links there from the two second rows, Sonia and Aoife. And I think just unfortunately Lindsay maybe got a little bit isolated there in that little offload. If Railway are starting to build that momentum, they just need to make sure they're looking after those rucks.
Yep. So here we go. Lovely hands. Hasn't got out to the wing too much today. Little chip, where's this going to end up? Oh, it's gathered brilliantly. Phenomenal play there. McInerney. Bennett upended. McCormack just holds it up enough just to get some support play there, but look how Union, and when you've got a man down, and especially at 10 as well, such a critical position. Who moves into that 10 channel? We'll have to wait and see once we get a bit of structure back into the game.
Along with those mauls, Bohemians just seem to be quite happy playing that offloading game.
Yep.
That, you know, Railway maybe have been struggling to shut down once they get that momentum behind them.
Yeah, it is very hard to get that going again. So here we go. This is critical. And it was another lovely kick from Flannery, just right down 6 metres away. There you go. Union this time decide not to put a kicker up, and they've sacked as a result that maul. So that primary weapon's been taken away, but what a handoff. Brady. And there's the turnover. Well, that tactical change at line-out time to sack the maul before it really got going paid off. They're so good around the breakdown, aren't they?
Yeah, that was Ulster's Keelan Brady. No stranger. Being a rower herself, she's no stranger to attacking those mauls. And why they've not utilised her skills sooner, I'm not quite sure. But as you can see, that's made the difference.
But at the end of the day, they're still a man down, and they're still in their own 22. They've got to win this line out, and then without you, they're going to have to rely on Coffey to really kick them clear, if that's what they're going to do. Or you can rely on a big handoff. So here we go. It's bound to be a box kick, and there it is. Now it's what Bowes can do from here. Great take by Barrett. There is space out wide as you'd expect there to be. It's how quick they can get there. Flannery passes it out all the way. Sneaking down the blind side, not much space there. Have Union managed to slow that all up? Have they managed to turn that over again? They have. The ball's out on the green side. And again, another critical turnover for Union. A player down at a critical time in the match, and UL Bow stretching them in the match. Turn that over right on the touchline. And there's the clearance kick by Coffey, this time into touch. Missed opportunity again, was it?
I think so. You can see that Railway are having to work hard now that they don't have Cocky in for those bits in the backfield. Bowes will need to utilise this, because that's now the second time they've been in the 22 and they've not come away with the points. Yeah,
exactly. And the more times that happens, the more it gives Railway Union confidence, because they're the ones who'll kind of be going, right, well, you know, mentally they have beaten Bowes a number of times and they have that in the tank. So here we go, Bowes. Look at, they're just trying to spread this all the time. Great hands. Corey comes into the line. Look at the amount of work there they're putting in the defence, though, for Union. Flannery still pumping the legs. Was there a wee knock on there? No, it's maybe about how the knock on occurred. Penalty advantage. Oh, and I thought like a quick and go tap. I think it was just maybe either not rolling away quick enough. Was that really what that was?
I think it could have been. Railway, you can see, are working Bohemians really, really hard, really shutting them down defensively.
Here they go. The maul comes up, and they stood off it, did they?
I just think they maybe weren't quite as quick to attack this time, and maybe give Bowes that little extra half a second.
Oh, and there's numbers everywhere. Oh, held up over the line. That's incredible tackles. It's wow. They had the numbers out wide though. Aoife Corey went for under the sticks, and the Railway defence got underneath her.
Yeah, that was tough. Just some phenomenal defence there from Railway. It really could have been anyone's.
And to compound issues, somebody's had a little word in the referee's ear, and a dropout has turned into a penalty. And that's just frustration, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
it. Just pure frustration.
It's a tight, tough match. I think blood will be hot today, and we'll just hope that both teams can keep that discipline.
Wow. So at the minute, we're talking about momentum. I mean, yes, UL Bows, they've played, I would say, the majority of this game in Union territory. However, it's the Union defence that has the momentum at the minute. And they almost can say, look, have the ball, we will defend.
Absolutely. It's kind of it's seeing the best of both, that aggressive attack and aggressive defence. And I think that's what's giving us such an exciting, tight game.
Yeah.
Let's see how this second scrum goes.
And it's an interesting one, converting your. I mean, it's a near impossible penalty to kick the touch from the centre of the pitch. So it's they're going to try and run it, and it's a sort of dangerous tactic in one sense, isn't it, from Railway? Yes, this is probably only our second scrum, and they won the first one by getting the nudge, but all you need is a slip or Bose to get the nudge. And
of course, they obviously have Katie O'Dwyer now, so the front rows have already changed.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see the impact she makes.
Well, it's come out the Railway side. Pick and go from Pete. Aguero on the outside. The big handoff sneaks just a foot in touch. Well, shepherded into touch down that side. Some good defence from Bose. And it was a very good platform from Railway to actually get themselves into that position in the first place.
That typical powerful run from Lindsay Peat. And I can't help but wonder, had she backed herself to take that, would she have maybe found a better gap?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Maybe it was one of those pre-planned, look, if you have a scrum in the centre of the pitch, then this, and sometimes that can work against you, can't it? Because you need to have a wee bit of feel for what's in front of you.
Yeah, that heads up rugby, that's what's going to make the difference today.
Interesting, first short five line out, and worked against Bose this time. O'Dwyer. Oh, just a wee knock on in the middle. And a wee knock on there as well, so we'll go back for the original one. Scrum in the middle of the park. It's strange in some ways. I appreciate you elbows want to mix things up in the line out, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, that rolling maul, it's strange to see them going for a 5-man line out. You in that position.
Yeah, absolutely. And it didn't just seem to work out for them. There was maybe a miscommunication, or
I think it was just the lifter missed at the back, and as you say, miscommunication, and then didn't quite get up. But
yeah, as you say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And so far, Bohemians have only really conceded one line out in the Railway territory. You know, I think they should just keep attacking that because it's giving them points.
Yeah. I suppose the only extra thing is sometimes when you're manning up, there's a kind of tendency to go, we must score, we have to score. So you want to get it out your speedsters as quick as possible to you exploit that space because you're a man up in defence or in the back line. So, but here we go, a prime opportunity for attacking scrum. You elbows do a fantastic job of the scrum. Rachel Allen just gives the offload and it's going for another knock on, and the longer this goes on for, the more frustrating I think the ULBOS players will get, and they'll be going, this is a big opportunity before half time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that pressure is on Bose, as you said. They know the man's down, they know the space is there, and that perhaps giving away those 50-50 passes that's generating those knock-ons. We went 20 minutes with one scrum, and all of a sudden we've seen 3 in the last 3 or 4 minutes. We just need to start seeing those cool level heads, the experienced players like Chloe, like Fiona Reedy, telling everyone, let's calm down, let's play simple heads up rugby.
You have to keep reminding yourself it is a cup final. Those nerves are naturally there. There's an awful lot on the line.
It really is all to play for today.
And it goes from Coffey. It's picked again by Lindsay Peat, as you'd expect. This time she does go. She's been listening to you, Gemma. And look at that. The big handoff. 2, 3, 4. Will she get a little offload away? Lindsay Peat, what experience. She scored a try in this final last year. Here we go. Lovely hands from Blackmore to D. Roberts. Blackmore popping up at the back of the ruck as well to service the back row. Inside, outside, Nikki Cockey. Suddenly the momentum, as we've been talking about this afternoon, is switched to the greens. And after all that period of attack from UL Bose, is it not rolling away is the call from Robbie McGreer, and he's been right on top of the action all afternoon. And just like that, we're right back down the other end of the pitch.
It'll be interesting to see what Railway make of this now. They've got a bit of momentum behind them. It's probably it's out of kickable range. So, well, there's the scrum. They took that option in front of the posts as well. They backed their scrum, as they have really all game so far. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it seems to be working for them. you can tell it, two very, very powerful packs, but Railway just seem to be taking that edge. They just seem to be able to get that little extra bit of forward nudge, and as we've seen now, Lindsay breaking from the back of that scrum is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, very much so. So here we go. Goodness, there's again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Pete will be picking up off the back and making yards, especially now that you're down a man in the back line. You just can't afford really to take them on that way. And Lindsay Pete, you've almost got an extra backline player anyway, the way she runs.
That's it. She's just such a powerful, dynamic runner, and not scared to pass the ball in space either.
Yep.
We've seen today, the Railway players, every single one of them, forward and back alike, are more than happy to shift the ball quickly from the left side of the pitch to the right, which has really been putting the Bohemian defence under pressure.
It's a good scrum by both sides. Pete picks up and goes left. O'Halloran trying to bring her down. Eventually, Pete's brought down. UL Bows in possession again now. On her own, needs to get the support there, especially with this Union defence. There is space out the right. Lovely hands. Still there. Noonan. Bows back in possession. It's a fantastic cup final. It's just what you want to see from these teams. It's tight and it just swings both ways. Nice ball, Farrell, and that was a wee bit forward. I think the half the sideline called that.
I think so. That's frustrating because getting that energy up. Maybe not looking after their rucks as closely as they should have been, but you would have hoped Bows would have been able to get a bit more space from that break.
Yeah. But I suppose that's maybe the story of the second half of this match. Really, is the fact that UL Bows have had the possession, they have had the territory, but just an inability to convert those crucial times.
Yeah, I thought Noonan did a good job there finally of squaring up defensively, and had she maybe had an opportunity to do that, there maybe would have been a bit more space following that. But any time you see a Bohemian player making a break, Railway are very, very quick to work really hard around that corner. You just have to be careful now that they maybe don't overcommit to that.
And of course, being a player down, that will be more tiring to defend as well. So here we go. Union on the charge. Oh, the big handoffs are coming in all over the place. Was they brought into touch? No. Fernanda did very well to stay in the field of play. Aoife McDermott. Fernanda again. Sonia McDermott this time, bobbling, bouncing, the ball's going backwards. Fernanda. It's hard to tell at the minute that there is a player advantage. Little show and go from Fernanda. Good ruck clean. Collis, big prop getting involved. O'Dwyer. Lindsay Pete uncharacteristically, little bit of a strip ball in the tackle. Reds have the advantage. Now we're going to go back for a scrum. Wow. And there is half-time here at St Mary's College in Dublin in this Energia Women's All-Ireland Cup final. And one kick separates the sides. Railway Union leading 14 points to 12 against UL Bohemians. Wow. Gemma, give us a wee sum up for halftime if you can. Good luck to that.
Is it easy to sum up at all? Two very, very physical teams. I think Bohemians have definitely enjoyed the most of the possession, the most of the space, but Railway, once they get that ball in hand, have been very quick to make use of it and get points on the board. But it really is a tight game. It's all to play for, and I think the depth of the bench really could make the difference for these two teams. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. And now that we're all back to parity, 15 aside, and UL Bows weren't able to take full advantage of that. But here, what we're in for an incredible second half. Join us in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be worth your while. Welcome back, everybody, to the Energia Women's AIL Cup Final here at St Mary's College in Dublin. I'm Graham Jewhurst, taking you through the commentary, and alongside me is Gemma McCamley. So it's been very exciting match. What would you have taken away from the first half, Gemma?
Yeah, I think it's still going to be a close match. I think Bohemians have maybe left a few tries out there. I think Railway have yet to really show that consistent, possession that's allowed them platform for score. So it really could go either way. But you
hinted to me at halftime that there may be a bit of hot blood in the second half. Bit of
absolutely.
Do you expect
you can see
that?
Some of those more experienced players maybe getting frustrated, hands up. I think both teams will need to make sure those emotions don't get the better of them.
Are you talking from experience here?
What happens around the rock stays around the rock. That's all I'm going to say. But we don't want to see a repeat of what we did in the first half and a yellow card. And, we saw how much that affected Railway. So let's hope it's a game of skill we see.
Well, it certainly has been a first half of skill, and both in attack and defence from both sides, as Railway Union playing in green get us underway against UL Bohemian playing in red. Railway leading 14 points to 12 here. Tries through Aoife McDermott and Lindsay Peat. And UL Bows, who held the advantage for most of the game, double tries for hooker Lily Brady, with Flannery with the one conversion. So it's very, very tight here. It's been a hugely exciting first half, and we hope we've got more to come in the second. Eva McCormack takes the ball in. It was all UL Bows really, in terms of, I'd say, about 70% possession, and the ball flips backwards. Where's it going to end up? Can Railway drive Bohemians back across the try line? I think they've managed to stay in the field of play, which will be a big kudos to that from a defensive point of view. UL Bows came out of the gates in the first half absolutely flying, and this time it's Railway who are putting their panache on. Good pick and go, couple of useful yards. Back it goes, and Flannery, she's got a big boot on her and is giving it a decent clearance, but it's going to be a Railway Union put into the line-out. We actually haven't seen that many Railway line-outs.
No, we haven't. The few we have seen seem to have gone fine, but I think we've yet to see that that experience that comes from having the McDermotts in the middle of the line-out.
And there they are, 2 and 3 in the line-out there. And it's up they go. They have managed to gather that. Emma Murphy got up and sort of slapped it back, and it was gathered. But UL Bohemian are putting some huge power into that ruck. Is it going to come out just about? Railway have managed to get that. Pete decides to go for a little dash down the blind side. Not much space there. Aoife McDermott, scorer in that first half. Sonia McDermott. The 2 second rows have been probably some of the best players, maybe apart from Lindsay Peat in this first half. Lovely ball, Aguero. Powerful runner. Good tackle. Little change of direction, Murphy. O'Dwyer. McDermott again. Good tackling. Good clean ruck ball, Brady. Cocky. Oh, lovely hands for Nada. Oh, was there a little knock on at the base? The referee says play on. Still out there, that's Molly Boyne coming on the 21 shirt. Lindsay Peat always straightens, always makes yards. So Dwyer over the top of this now. She wants to get the rest of the pack in. They're going to take them on around the fringes. McDermott again. Oh, lovely little over the top. Aoife McDermott. It's all going slow, but O'Dwyer again.
Really keeping those heads level.
Yeah, the UL Bows defence is just looking very solid at the minute, very well drilled. It's going to be hard to find a way through this. Almost an attempted jackal there, but they are getting close. Coffey, they'll go to the back line now. There is space out wide. There's a huge, if they could get it out, they didn't, and that's high. And now, will that be a yellow card? There was a definite free player out on the left-hand side, and Robbie McGreer was quick to go for the penalty on the high tackle last time, the yellow card, and he could well go for the point. He's going to calm it down. I think that's probably the right call. There was a little bit of maybe a duck of the head, which... But I tell you what, Railway had a player out wide, and that could easily have been a try.
Yeah, absolutely. Bo's working really, really hard in defence, but as you said, you know, perhaps just left a bit thin on the wide channels.
So here we go from Railway Union. They really are putting pressure on this UL Bo's line early on. And they've been very calm and patient with it, picking around the fringes, taking their time at the base of the ruck. And whilst UL Bo's get their defence sorted out, they've left space out wide, which they did the last time. And UL Bo's have to be wary, because the attack can come from anywhere from this Railway perspective. More slow ruck ball. Coffey having to dig again. Out it comes. Molly Boyne this time. Patience seems to be the name of the game from this Railway side. You do get the feeling that they could go over at any stage. Lindsay Peat does a show and go. Has she stretched to the line? They've got a penalty advantage for offside. They're going to go back for the penalty advantage, and this time it is going to be a yellow card. And this time it's Fiona Reedy. Well, there was a supporter from below us who shouted, "Take the scrum," and they've probably got the right idea.
That's a tough call. You know, you can see now that Ellis may be down, and that's Fiona Reedy off the pitch. Both will really need to gather themselves if it is in fact going to be a scrum here.
Yeah.
Railway did a remarkable job keeping their cool there, just working through the phases, letting Bows make the mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. That's exactly what they did. They almost egged them on and well, come offside. You are not going to get the ball unless you infringe here. Eilish Cahill there down. She scored in the 22 final between these two sides. So a very experienced player, and goodness if they lost one player to yellow and another player to injury, but she's up again, which is good to see, and she's going to need all her strength, power and experience here to hold out Union. The question is, of course, who do they bring in the front row? They have quite a number of potential options, but well, I was already having a scrum. Lindsay Peat has other ideas. Tap and go. They're going to take them on up front, and there's a big UL Bows defence. Railway are going to be back to this patient pick and go, passing from 9. O'Dwyer. Coffey goes digging all the way out. Ogueru, and it's a little bit of a knock. And you almost get the sense that this could be a mirror image of what happened in the first half when UL Bows were pushing the line and just kept making little mistakes.
Absolutely.
You know?
That'll be very frustrating. Railway did such a good job keeping it so controlled for so long, and you know, once the space opened up, maybe just couldn't execute there. That will be frustrating. The
big difference is here, will Bows need to substitute off somebody to make up their front row, or do they have
we do have
players
Chloe Pierce
on? Yeah,
who is their captain and number 8
number
today.
8, who's the prop. It's just whether you want to lose her at 8, but
it'll be a loss, but she has that front row experience. I believe she was involved in the front row for the Irish tour to Japan last year, so she has the physicality. You'll maybe miss her in defence, or might take some of the power out of her in attack, but we'll see how they fare here in this scrum.
It's going to be hugely difficult. This Railway Union scrum was already probably had the edge 8 on 8, and now they're still 8 on 8. Who have they brought in from the back row to go to number 8 position? Trying to see who that is in the 8. Or have they moved O'Halloran round? Is that O'Halloran in the red scrum cap to 8? Possibly. And they've maybe left the blind side unprotected. There's so many connotations in that. This is where the tactics of the game comes into play. But either way, this is a massive scrum for both sides in this game, and Railway are starting to go backwards. Can you?
It's an example of a player who stepped up. Bohemians normally have Nicole Cronin running in 10, who's obviously involved in the wider Irish squad at the minute. So she's maybe not had as much time as she could have liked this year, but it hasn't harbored her in any way today.
As you mentioned as well, Gemma, it's Railway Union who have pretty much emptied their bench here, and they've got the fresh legs on. Off we go, and there's another high tackle. Dee Roberts takes it in, pumps the legs. So it's a free ball now for Union. Molly Boyne got plenty of hands on the ball. Since she comes in, there's 23, Aoife O'Shaughnessy. Carroll, out it goes to Aguero. Squares up on the outside, the big handoff with a little tackle and into touch, but we'll probably go back for the penalty regardless. They've closed down that left-hand wing very, very quickly, I think, Bows, all afternoon.
Yeah, I don't think Aguero's really had an opportunity to show off her pace yet today. She just seems to get shut down every time she gets ball in hand.
And that's just a wee nod to how dangerous she can be. I mean, we've seen her a few times in the midfield with a big handoff, and once she gets that powerful run going, it's hard to stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is a big call. We're not going for line out. We're going to tap and go again. That Union setting up there. Molly Brown, off she goes to Lindsay Peat. UL Bows defence having to work really, really hard. O'Dwyer bundled into contact. That's Rodera, Spanish international player, on for Railway Union. The ball's bubbling about there. Has it knocked forward? No, it's okay. Play on. And this time it has been knocked forward. And now it's Bows who seem to be putting huge amount of pressure on every ruck, isn't it?
Yeah, it just seems to be the reverse of what we saw in the first half today. They're not happy to take the 2-point lead sitting down, and they're despite having a man down, just bringing that aggression and shutting Railway down.
And it's funny the way that happens sometimes when you see that you're a player down. It almost lifts the rest of the 14 to levels that are beyond what they've been playing as a 15. Which is what we've seen both times so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Christine Coffey will be frustrated. She's an experienced scrum half, and the pressure from Bohemians, she maybe just didn't get the pass away from the back of the ruck as clean as she would have liked.
But of course, a perfect scrum, and the way Railway Union demolished the seven-man Bows the last time. They've got a free kick, and they're certainly not going to the scrum. They're running, and away goes Rachel Allen. Good carry and good offload. Have Railway turned that over? They have turned it over, and that's what been one of their huge strengths this afternoon. Lovely hands. Murphy offloads it to McDermott. McDermott's going to go all the way. It's going to be her second try. Aoife McDermott. Beautiful hands from Murphy. McDermott storms through, and just when you thought that UL Bows once again had got away with it, Railway Union come in, nab the ball, and McDermott under the sticks.
That really was a classic example of a row on the run. That offloading rugby in the midfield, and once McDermott got that ball in hand, I don't think she was going anywhere else but under the posts.
Well, there you go, and that is a critical score in the game, because if this conversion goes over, it goes to an 8-point advantage, a 9-point advantage, which, goodness, that'll be very difficult to overcome.
Yeah, with 29 minutes to go, and with it being as tight as it has been so far, Bohemians will really need to get their heads straight under the posts here to keep this game as tight as it has been so far.
And they've still got to withstand another 5 minutes, a player down. So I would imagine this kick off as deep as you can and force Union to try and get out of their own territory.
Absolutely. Having Fiona Reedy off, it is a big loss.
Those interlinks between players, that natural. I mean, even the handling there, that was a lovely bit of handling between the Railway Union forwards.
Exactly.
To set that up.
Yeah, exactly.
So here we go. Kate Flannery. Will she set something up for her forwards? We've seen this the whole game, where as soon as a team has scored, the other team gets right back into them, and that's just what UL Bows need to do now. And it is a kick, and that could be a penalty. That could be a penalty from offside. Yeah, knock on from Pete. And look, Chloe Blackmore, it's one of those things you do. You just automatically pick the ball up when it's at your feet, but you're in an offside position.
Absolutely.
And here we go. We're going to be right back down in Railway Union territory. And it's just what Bows want, a line out from where they've scored twice already this game.
Yeah, line out in the 22. It's textbook. It's exactly what they want to be seeing here. With the points difference increasing, it'll just be interesting to see if they can execute.
It's been a hugely exciting game. We're down in St Mary's College, Dublin. If you've just joined us, this Energia Women's AIL Cup final. It's been an absolute belter of a game. And UL Bows now with a line out. It's stolen, and there's Lindsay Peat again. Tries the little offload, and Bows come away with it. Opposite number, Chloe Pearson, captain. And away we go through the midfield. Allen and Noonan all the way out to Aoife Corey. And now Bows on the attack again. Good carry. Claire Bennett this time pumps the legs. Farrell. Good tackle on Farrell. Did the ball go forward? It did just spill forward, and that's one of those moments in the game that you need a big player to step up, don't you?
Absolutely. That'll be really, really frustrating. You can see there, maybe just half decided to an offload and changed her mind, and ball just maybe wasn't in the ideal position when she carried into contact there. And with those physical Railway players really fronting up in the contact zone,
and it was a double hit. It was a double hit as well. I mean, it's very hard to withstand that, but that was some tackle. And I see there now UL Bows back to full complement. Fiona Reedy back on again. We've had a yellow card for each side in this game. Railway Union took advantage of their extra player. But Fiona Reedy in the number 1 shirt for Bows, I'm sure will be wanting to kind of make up for that yellow card, although she was the beneficiary probably of a lot of penalty advantages given by the referee, and was just in the last person to get penalised before the yellow. So in goes the ball. It's a good solid scrum. Bows putting a little bit of a nudge on. Boot the ball. It's a very clever little kick. Where's it going to end up? Oh, and it came into the hands of Corey. Corey's going to go. Isn't he going to catch her? Oh, what a tackle. Brilliant there from Rodrera, showing her international experience. Still going. O'Halloran carries into contact now. It's UL Bohemian who are in the advantage. That was Wall at scrum half there, who's come on in the 21 shirt. Wall to Flannery. Flannery gives a lovely offload. Lily Brady. Bohemian need the patience now. Sarah Garrett. Wall again. Goodness, that was some big hits by Emma Murphy on O'Halloran. Her opposite number, but the offload goes away. UL Bows still in the prime position. It's all slowed down a bit. Or we're going to see what Railway Union did, picking and going around the fringes. They need to be as patient. And here goes Aguero. Will she get that big arm out? She does. And now we're going to see her open up. She goes back in field. Oh, another handle. They're not going to catch her, you know. She's across the half, across the 10. Incredible running. She's going to try in last year's final. And she's got one in this. Wow. And that's incredible skill you just cannot teach.
I think that's what Railway have been looking for the entire game so far, is looking to give their back three a run.
Oh yeah, and that's why UL Bows have had her under so much pressure for so long. You can't give her any space.
Yeah, once she demonstrated her power pulling through those tackles, handing off players, and once she saw the gap, she just knew the acceleration was up and she was going. Not for lack of effort by the Bohemians defenders.
But like just, it's the everything. She's got the handoff, the power up her body, but the sidestep that she took just to change the line. I mean, that's so hard to defend. Incredible score.
I think it goes to show just how determined Railway have been, as you say, attacking those rocks, getting those those turnovers. That's what seems to be making the difference for this team.
It's kind of lit the crowd up, hasn't it, as well? There's just a buzz about the place now. And this time it's Frenada that adds the extras. And what that was just feels like it was just the critical score. That's just the turning point. It's going to be very hard to see Bohemian get back from this, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't put it past them, but you know, you're going to need those players to front up. Railway were just that bit more clinical. You know, when the breakdowns happen, when the ball goes loose, it seems to be Railway are able to execute just that little bit more clinically. But
as I say, there's still 20 minutes left in this game. There's plenty of time, and Bohemian have showed time and again that they can easily get into the position. They could easily have scored if it hadn't been for that incredible turnover around the fringes. Railway gather well. Off they go well. Bohemian won't be going away without a fight, that's for sure. As Emer Considine in the 22 shirt, a bit of a nod for her. She first game back after maternity. 8-week-old son on the sidelines. She'll be keen to make an impact in the red shirt. Frenada. It's all opening up. It suddenly feels like a game of sevens. Off she goes, Frenada. Good tackle on the far side from Bose. It's got to go quick. There's a bit of space in the midfield. O'Dwyer. Have Bohemians turned this over? That's great ruck ball. Oh, but just off her feet. She went twice on the ball. She tried to get it the first time and let go, and went a second time again. Robbie McGreer straight on the money. O'Shaughnessy. Good powerful run by Keelan Brady. Picking and going by Aoife McDermott. 2 tries to her name today, and the second one was probably the most impressive one. Pete, little bit of space there. Rodrera cruised down very, very quickly. Niamh Byrne. Good tackle in the midfield. The Bohemian defence for the most part has been very solid, but Aguero again just starting to cut through a couple of tackles before taken out into touch.
Barrett was, I think, very keen to make sure Aguero had no space there.
Yeah. They've closed her down as well, very well, using the touchline, almost shepherding her to the wide channels just so that kind of makes sure she gets into touch.
Yeah, Clara Barrett, this is her first season, the Bohemians winger, and she seems to know what she's doing despite her youth.
Good. It has felt like it's opened up a wee bit in the last maybe 5 minutes or so. It feels like, well, you elbows have to throw caution to the wind a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see once Railway get going, the ruck speed is breakneck, and the players are quite happy to offload in contact. They're just really hard to manage once they get the wind behind them. If it's not their lightning quick back three, it's their dynamic physical pack players. You can't really get away from them.
And that big maul, just an interchange there. Bose moving forward, Wall gets it out eventually. Good tackling, good carry by Steph Noonan. Oh, lovely hands. Good tackling, just shut that down. Arifa Corey was maybe away. Look at that, she's right on the ball again. Nearly another turnover. They're always looking for it, Union. Chloe Pearce. Another big hit. the little things, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the little things just not going the way of the team in red.
Absolutely. It's once again, that fierce railway defence. They come off the line so hot and shut down the players that even when the space is out wide, there's no time to get it away. You know, the balls are flat, the players are square, but you know, the defence is there already. There's nothing to do.
And it seems an awful lot of time in the middle of the pitch to be there in pairs.
Yeah.
You know, the UL Bows players are getting hit by two, one low, one high. Boom. Very well coached.
Absolutely, and I suppose that's why we're seeing some of those knock-ons as well. That, you know, if that player is not anticipating that double contact and they're not in the ideal position, they're going back or they're getting stripped. It's very tough to attack against. I think the last scrum was one of the tightest I think we've seen so far. I think that the 10 minutes rest Fiona Reedy had maybe gave her some new vigour.
And a bit of impetus to make up for the 10 minutes as well, probably. Perfect scrum for Union though, middle of the park, just outside the 22. Lovely opportunity to attack from. And here they go, they're going down the blind. Lovely hands. Good pickup. Stephanie Carroll powers through one tackle. Eva McCormack making herself busy in the Bows defence. O'Shaughnessy, Bows defence getting up very quick there, and Union having to scramble, but that was brilliant defence from the Reds.
Yeah, very good. I think the Bows have identified that Railway are very capable of shifting the ball, and they know that when they come up off the line, it has to be together.
Rebecca Riley there coming on to shore up the row ahead of this big scrum. Bows starting to make a few changes now. It's interesting, they've left their changes maybe a wee bit later than Union. It's been perfect conditions here though for running rugby. Big scrum from Union. Wow, you'd think they were a player up in the scrum now, but it still comes out Bows ways, and the kick, who's going to gather that? Oh, his fingertips away from being regathered. Aguero in the midfield now. Good tackles from the Bows players. Union again. A little knock on just round the fringes, just tackled off the ball. Anything could happen. Their scores could come from anywhere, couldn't they?
Yeah, the ball, it goes loose, and both teams are very capable of pulling off those 1 in a million kind of runs. I think that's why the pressure is on any time a ball fumbles.
Yeah, and there is an awful lot of pressure. We've talked an awful lot about attack. The defence from both sides has been very good. Union just probably having that edge there as Gina Bain comes on.
I think she's big shoes to fill with Cahill coming off. She's been an absolute workhorse for them for this first 60-70 minutes. It'll be interesting to see if this does have an impact on the scrums, because the last two Railway scrums have really dominated.
Goodness me, they were brutal, weren't they? Look at that, and they're pumping the legs. It does feel like 8 players working as one. The ball pops out, Wall manages to get it. Now this is going to be interesting to see where this lands out. Did it go straight out? Well, Keith Condell over the far side there. TMO was perfect position, and it's going to be a line out to UL Bows. It feels like we've been looking to the right for most of the second half so far. UL Bows dominated probably the first half. And to explain to you if you're watching this on TV, there was hardly a puff of wind. I was out at Union up very fast, but there's the opportunity if she can get the offload away. She does to Corrie. Corrie gets it out to Constantine. Oh, back to Corrie again. What a handoff. Is there going to be the tackle? Great tackle by Fernanda. Bows managed to keep that in play brilliantly. Now they're on the attack. Slowed down a little bit. Chloe Pierce. Big tackle, big driving them backwards. Defence has been game-changing for Union constantly. Reedy again. Wall out to Flannery. Flannery does a very, very clever chip. Where's this going to end up? And the ball just beats her. It was the right idea. It was a clever little kick.
Yeah, absolutely. Good idea. It maybe just didn't execute the way she would have liked, which is frustrating because the Bows definitely have that pace.
Yeah, they do, don't they? They haven't been able to get the ball out too wide, too quick, because the Union defence is up so flat in the midfield.
It's definitely been a game of packs, I think.
Yeah.
And the odd boot.
I don't know how Fiona Reedy ended up back in that pitch again, like about 1 minute after she went off. But anyway,
I don't think she understands that she's played so many seasons of AIL.
She sneaked off, got her big round of applause. Maybe that's why she went off, and then she's back on again. Incredible.
Yeah, they do miss those senior players. You know, it's as much as they maybe don't want to be playing full matches anymore. It's hard to lose them because you can really see the organisation she gives the pack when she's on the field. Having those two, you know, between her and Chloe Pierce, two pack managers, if you like, they're dictating where the players are, and you know, combined with what is a powerful backline, it's.
Well, I mean, you can kind of testify to that, you know, from a Ulster provincial player perspective, how important those senior people are.
Absolutely,
they do more than just do their job.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, they were two players that feature strongly in Munster, who obviously won the interprovincial series this year. They're no stranger to playing at that level and winning. and
they'll want to finish this game strong, both because they have added so much to this. I think we can pass the possibility of probably winning this game, but they've added so much to this game here that they'll want to finish with a bang, and Railway Union are determined just to have their own way, and they have their own way in that line out. And now they're going to try and run it from their own 22 to... Eva McDermott, she's just been fantastic in the ball carrying. Pete changing direction. Molly Boyne, she's carried very well and been prominent for Union since she came on in the second half. Just lifted the head there, didn't she? Just lifted the head to see where the red shirts were. And this is an opportunity for Bows to get something in this last 10 minutes.
Yeah. Let's hope we can see something, pull something up, and pull the energy. We can see they're making 3 substitutions here.
Yeah. A return for Eilish Cahill. They're wanting to shore up that front row, get the starting front row back on again there, and show the power. Is Fiona Reedy going to get her second clap off the afternoon? Is she?
Let's hope. Yeah, Bows really seem to be gearing in to hopefully utilise this late penalty, and hopefully.
Well, they do. They deserve. No, you say it from I can say it from a neutral perspective. They deserve a score. They've added so much to this game, Bows, that the scoreline doesn't quite reflect how good they've been. And
2 physical teams, and maybe at times Railway have just been that little bit more clinical, that little bit.
Taking that into contact. O'Halloran now. Driving hard. Wall. McInerney again. Good time. It's even 70 minutes in. The hits, you can hear them up here in the commentary box. Some huge hits going in. Cahill. Patience now from Bows. Look at that Union defence. They're working so hard there. Riley. Wall again. Out to Flannery. Flannery puts that kick in. Is it going to work this time? Oh, it's a great catch out the outside. Oh, so nearly hands. And a knock on. Oh my goodness, it was the perfect kick this time from Flannery, wasn't it? But that's just the way this game seems to have gone, isn't it?
Oh, that was so tough.
I mean, that is a beautiful, delicate touch of a kick right on the line. And it was you have to give Frenada an awful lot of kudos for tackling Barrett there just at the last gasp.
She worked really hard there, and it's not that I have much experience in that space of the pitch, but it's hard often to commit to those tackles. But she made the right decision. She had the support, and they were able to finish off that pressure that allowed Bows to fumble that ball.
And there's a big round of applause you heard there was Lindsay Peat coming off, high-fiving everyone. Huge smile on the face. Boy, has she worked hard this afternoon.
Yeah, a well-deserved applause, I think. She's really, really fronted up for Railway today.
And another big Union scrum. And where Lindsay Peat leaves off, Katie O'Dwyer picks up big pick-up off of the base. Gains crucial yards, and Union are allowed to clear. And a very decent clearance. You'd be very happy with that. UL Bows put in though. Still in the territory.
It's tough. You can see the fatigue starting to build with the Bows team. You know, when they were in the 22 and you had a lot of forward pods carrying, you could see the fatigue accumulating. That the carries maybe weren't as powerful, or you were maybe getting those players isolated, which, you know, Railway are really open to punishing them for.
I think that's what it's felt like. You put in so much work and you get punished. It's so harsh, isn't it? But good rolling maul drive here from Bows. Eventually brought down. Pearce waiting there, a little bit isolated at the minute, but she's going to take it into contact. Wool, Flannery. All the way to that guy. Good line from Considine. Noonan. Look, I mean, you'd think there was extra players there for Union. They're up about 3-on-2 in the tackles. Wool, good line to Garrett. Bows again are going through the phases very, very well, but they're not able to go forward, such as that line. Oh, good hands there, great take. So O'Dwyer there, and it's a penalty, and there was good opportunities there, and they're going to tap and go. Wall very quick to go, but you need support. Cut along the line, went back, and it's going to be kicked clear. Ava O'Flynn very, very well picks it up. Union on the attack again, and straight through the middle. Keelan Brady, no free ball. O'Dwyer, even with 77 minutes on the clock, 28-12 ahead, no ruck is going to be given up by a Union player ever. Good hands there. Aoife McDermott is standing up in the tackle. Fernanda into contact. Look at the body position there. Good work at the breakdown there from UL Bows, and how much needed was that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if Flynn just maybe got a little bit isolated there, and Bows were absolutely looking to capitalise on that. They're still keeping the heads up and fighting.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was so close for long periods of this game, and it's felt so close for most of the game. It's the little details that I think Railway have just capitalised on, their ability to win ruck ball against the head. I mean, I'd love stats on how many they've done. It's crazy.
Absolutely. It's been, they've just been tight defensively, tight in the rucks, and that's really what has cinched the game for them here today.
Last minute here at St Mary's College in Dublin.
It'll be interesting to see how this goes. The Bow lineouts have just been maybe a bit more fumbly than they would have liked this half, I think. Yeah,
Garrett got up well, just the pressure again from the team in green. I know they have to say, I mean, we've said it would be fantastic if they could get a score to finish because they deserve more, but I mean, it's not for want of trying. I mean, the effort levels that they've put in, they've kept the ball really, really well. Flannery, particularly, who's on the ball now, has played a brilliant game. Lovely offload through the tackle and a beautifully fluted kick earlier. Her kicking game's been brilliant, but look at that, and that's what this game's been all about. That's what's won the game. It's Union's ability to get back, defend. And here we go, thought about a kick there as well, and Union away, and a big tackle. Stephanie Carroll now for Union, offloading again. Aoife McDermott with the big right hand. Good ball placement, well through there. Ciara O'Dwyer causing a nuisance round the ruck. And this time it is Aoife McDermott who's going to finish this game with a kick into touch. It's been a fantastic Energia Women's AIL Cup final. The winners here this afternoon, Railway Union 28, UL Bohemian 12. Give us your summary, Gemma, if you can.
I don't think there's any better summary than that last 2-3 minutes of play. The fight, the grit, the physicality from both sides. But as you said, just seeing those aggressive Railway rucks when it really comes down to the crunch, that's been what's made the difference today.
It's that power, that just, it feels like not that UL Bohemian haven't had it, but that desire to win every ruck, every yard. Yeah,
the fire from the team has been absolutely immense today.
Just to take you through, if you kind of maybe missed the early stages of this match, UL Bohemian got after the perfect start after 3 minutes with Lily Brady crashing over the try line, Flannery converting instantly. Railway Union back in the game with an Aoife McDermott try and Coffey conversion to bring it 7-all. Brady again then with her second and got them into the lead before Lindsay Peat levelled the scores, and then it was a conversion from Coffey gave Railway Union a 14-12 half time, and then Aoife McDermott with her second, and then Uguera finished off proceedings with a Frenada conversion. It's just felt it's been a real tribute to the women's game at club level, I think, this final, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams who have internationals that would feature strongly in their starting 15s and are all away at camp at the minute. Despite the loss of those players, still some fantastic rugby. The depth is there for both squads, and it really has been a showcase of what of what the AIL has to offer.
Yeah, very much so. And you can see, look, all the players they know each other very well. I think both sides at this at this level. There's some great talent right across the board in women's rugby at the minute, and Blackrock, of course, who won the league earlier as well, and probably contributed a fair number of players to the international side. And yeah, there's lots of talent. There's lots to look forward to, isn't in the women's game, with maybe some changes afoot in the league structure and things like that. But we'll see what happens next season. Today,
to be honest, I was really impressed with Gráinne O'Loughlin, the Railway loosehead. I thought she featured really strongly in open play of all things in the first half. Not to mention the powerful scrums. I think we've seen some really dynamic players. Of course, we had Eilish, who was an absolute workhorse for UL Bow today. You could see the experienced players coming through. Chloe Pierce, Fiona Reedy, Wall when she came on for.
Yeah, she did very well, didn't she in the scrum half?
Well. You could
sped the game up a little bit.
She sped the game up, but you could see the experience really kicked in when she knew when to slow the game down as well. Especially when that fatigue builds, a smart scrum half who can slow the game down when your forwards need it. That really can make the difference.
And Kate Flannery, I thought she played very well at 10, didn't she?
Brilliant young player. I think one to keep an eye on for the future. In Railway, of course, you had Lindsay Peat, you had both McDermotts featuring really strong open play.
That back three as well, and then you got Uguera, and I thought Frenada really came into her own in the second half. Particularly, I thought her cover defence was outstanding.
It was phenomenal, and even identifying the gap, she maybe didn't get a chance to run the ball in, but she was definitely able to give the players front foot to work on, which definitely gave them stuff to capitalise on in attack.
It was a high energy game as well. It felt like the pace of it was. I mean, they'll be wrecked out there. The pace of the game, and the power, the impacts. We could hear the tackles even at 70-odd minutes.
Oh, absolutely. The physicality did not drop through the entire game. I hats off to those players who lasted 80 minutes out there, because it was a tough game.
What do you think UL Bohemian will have sort of taken away? What will they learn from this experience? What will if they will come back next year as a stronger side, and what do you think they'll have taken from this? What do they need to get to that next level?
Absolutely. I think it's the 5%. Cleaning up the lineouts. As you saw, they were really able to execute once they got the line out and got the maul going, but it maybe just didn't come to hand as cleanly as they would have liked, especially in the second half. looking after those players when they got isolated, and executing whenever they had opportunity to.
And I suppose you'll not be able to hear this, by the way, if you're watching on the TV. There is a presentation going on, so we'll forgive it. I hope everyone else forgives us. We'll talk over the top of it a little bit, but there's just a little bit of speeches going on by some members of the IRFU, and I would imagine there's a equal amount of praise for the being spoken about for the runners up as there is for the eventual winners.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that first sort of half, it really could have gone either way.
Well, here, listen, we'll leave you here. This is, I hope you've really enjoyed this match from myself, Graham Jewhurst and Gemma McCamley here this afternoon. It's been an absolute stonking game. And the winners of the Energia Women's AIL Cup Final out on the pitch at the minute, Railway Union 28, UL Bohemians 12.